Right folks, welcome to the Dainichi Koi project 2022. It's a little bit later on in season than I hoped with this, but everything that's been going on with the amount of fish, stocking levels, etc. I've just not had the pond space to free these up and get where I wanted to get. So you'll have seen, or you'll see throughout the footage here, I completely took it to a whole different level this year, even compared with last. With the knowledge and wisdom of last year's results behind me, and more confidence in the auctions with what I was buying through the pictures, I bought more expensive fish, even better quality fish, diversified and gone for some of the other varieties that Dainichi are playing around with, Benigoi, Ginrin Benigoi, the Key Mitsuba from the Botan line, two new creations this year as well, the Ginrin Karashigoi, the Yellow Monkey lineage, and the Black Zeus, which is basically like a Ginrin Komonryu. The Deutsch Ginrin stuff's pretty fascinating, to be honest with you. So unfortunately these all had to end up, they came in on multiple shipments, they've all had to end up in the one pond. This pond's been crazy stocked for a long time. It has had a detrimental effect on growth and not really done anything. Because of the heavy stocking, I was getting a lot of fin damage as well, split fins from when they were feeding, so the auto feeders had to be turned off for a really long time as it stands, and just been manually fed, which again has impaired them. So where we're at today, we're going to do selection, so basically get them all separated first of all, go Sankey pieces or individual pieces from the auctions, and then the separate fish from the batches I bought. So all the different varieties that I mentioned, need to do individual gradings on those fish, which have then got different homes. And in the pond we're in at the minute, the auction tow side, the high class stuff, is going to go in there ready to start its growing season. So a little bit later than I hoped, like I've already said. Japan's having the same sort of issues, in all fairness, but not because of anything other than the weather out there. In Niigata, the snowfall and the sort of snow melting has prolonged, so there has been breeders still been releasing tosai just lately, which has been a pain in the arse for them, especially because they've only got a limited amount of time, they're relying on nature. In my case, what the plan is here is I'll extend the growing season using the heating that I've got, so I'll not likely harvest this pond probably until the end of November going on to December, when we actually check in on some of the results. So yeah, we'll focus in on some more detail on certain stuff along the way, but for now we're going to get cracking, start getting the fish sorted and separated into the individual varieties, and let's see where we go from there. Right, that's all the sorting done. Yeah, I said this pond was heavily stocked, so 393 fish in total. Actually, scratch that, we've got the Karashigoi as well, so 408 fish in that 3,500 gallon pond, which for the best part of the time has not had the shower filter running either, which was the new addition. Even based on that, I'm actually surprised, seeing them up close, how much they've actually grown still. The Mitsubas, Ginrin Karashigoi and the Benigoi mix especially, because they were only sort of 12 to 15 cm when they arrived. So even given everything, yes, they've had the temperature all along, but the high stocking, low feeding in this instance, they've still done really, really well. It's a phenomenal pond of fish, this. I mean, as far as Dainichi fish go, for sure, you know, what I've got sat here is a stunning collection worldwide. And yeah, just very excited seeing the Go Sankey stuff up close again. Some of the potential in there is just incredible. These fish from this lineage honestly are out of this world. Absolutely love them, and we'll just see. I mean, they're growing with ease, like I say, we've not even been trying, and they're growing well. So to consider where these are going to be at, you know, probably even in a month's time with some intense feeding and environment to them. Yeah, exciting stuff, so I'm dead happy. And yeah, we're going to start doing the actual individual selections now, and then look at some of the fish up close. First lot we're going to sort is the Go Sankey and all the individual bits from the auction. So you'll see in this net, because of how the auction's running over the different time periods, there is a lot of size variation, which isn't one of my favourite things. You know, I've discussed this before, when you're trying to intensively grow koi and extract every centimetre, getting the smallest to biggest size differential, I want that as close as possible. So in amongst them you'll see that there's the very large Ginrin Karashigoi in there, which is substantially too big. It was never planned for those to be growing in there with these fish, so they're going to come out. There's another pond where they're going to be housed with some fish of a similar size. So that deals with those. That also then does shrink down the size differential quite a lot. Now, in the short term, what we're planning to do with these, because of pond space, the bigger fish, the few bigger pieces in here will actually just stay for now. My only plan is, as it stands, is to take out, there's a few fish that, a couple of Ginrin showers that have lost all their benny already, and a few others that are already showing some sort of defects that I'm not too happy with. So I'm going to take them away to reduce the stocking level, because there's no point investing time and resources into fish like that anymore. And the rest is just going to go back for now. I'm going to get them on the food, probably give them a solid month, let them all get some substantial size on. See if there is any ones that really race away from the pack, and others that might even catch up. And at that point, we're going to come back to them. And when there's another pond, the last one we've got to sort in here, there'll be a bit more space available. So any of those really large fish will have another home to move to, and let the others fly on from there. So that's the plan. Going to get that done now before we move on to the selections of the Mutsubas and the Benigoi. Another All Japan show winner, Wakagoi from this year. That was another second prize in its size class. It's ready to start stacking some body on that now. Very much a jumbo toe side, that long lean body. Nothing to be concerned about, the bone structure's up there for all to see. This is just a case of getting the food down it and getting the muscle and the fat building to get that body volume. The sort of body power in these Ginrin Karashigoi really is something else. Can't wait to learn a little bit more about what they've actually done to create this. The Ginrin quality is just on another level. As with anything new in the Dainichi auctions, prices for these this year really was ridiculous for a single coloured fish. The Black Zeus were pretty similar. A lot of the Dainichi Ginrin stuff, in all honesty, the Ginrin showers were incredibly hard. So it's really devastating, the fact that I think I've seen two of them that I know I've invested quite a lot in go to the wall already, but that is the risk of Tosai, unfortunately. So we can see from that, we've just got the Gosanki fish left. Primarily in here, you will see some of the Black Zeus, which we're going to look at in closer detail. Just pull one up here as an example. These have, as I expected, because they come on real good, lost a lot of the sumi in the heat, but gives you an idea there. The Ginrin element on these is stunning, especially when the sumi's all there. It just adds a seriously different dimension to them. Got one of the Black Diamonds, which I'm presuming has played a part in the creation of the Black Zeus. See their Ginrin quality on that's absolutely exceptional. Again, sumi just dropped off in the heat a little bit. So yeah, and then there's a couple, there's a few larger Benigoi in here which were purchased in the auction as individual fish. One of which is my All Japan Young Koi Show winner. Did exceptionally well with that, and there's quite a few pieces in there from the Koi Show that have all done really well. That was another All Japan Young Koi Show winner. Can't remember award, I think it was a second prize from Dainichi Toyota. Superb fish. Really starting to progress more with some size now as well, and areas of Shrogia becoming more prominent. I absolutely love this shower. It was one I just had to have at the time. Superb piece. Shower there, colour Benny just seems very frail. Can often be the case when they're sparse like that. It's a bit risky, so that's going to be moved out of the pond at this point. It seems to have been a good year for Dainichi Sankey. The M Sankey line that they've got, I think these were M Sankey Junior, managed to get quite a few pieces that look really exciting. Dainichi Sankey are quite a rare beast. They do produce all three of the Go Sankey, but not in Sankey tend to come around. If every year it's very limited numbers, it's not often that they have as many as they have had this year. That's just an insane net full of fish. The skin quality is just on another level. See that one already, which was a lovely Sankey at one point. Almost complete Benny loss now. So it'll be quite a rare Dainichi Becco when that's eventually gone. But it won't be staying in this pond at the minute. And that is, again, just something I completely accept. We're doing this, you know, none of these were cheap fish, but it's a numbers game. So if we look already, I mean, there's only a very, very small number of fish that have actually had complete colour failure like that one. That's why it's so important to get the selection right and understand what you're looking for in these fish's toe side, to be able to read the benny and half expect what's going off. But with toe side, it's never that predictable and straightforward. There's always the ones that, despite every a bit of knowledge and experience, just completely fail as they turn into Nisai. This thing is absolutely, I think probably, it's certainly in my top 2 or 3 kohaku in there. The body is just insane. The power was visible from day one when I got that, and even though it's got that real intense benny already, there's a nice level of really consistent sachet, so I know there's a lot more depth there. And yeah, this is going to fly. The minute these get separated and back on the food, it's going to fly. See with this kohaku here, the benny, loads of secondary colour developed in that already, really intense, which is just going to continue to get worse. It might even, looking at it, I mean, the colour intensity of these, it might even end up developing into full pigmentation. Hard to say at this point because it's still so young, but nonetheless a risky fish, so not one to invest any more resources into. Right, so there we have it, the 2022 Dainichi collection. That's a hell of a pond. I'm absolutely exhausted, to be honest with you. It's been a very long day getting that lot all sorted out, but relieved to now have them set in the growing ponds, ready to get them kicked on and raised. This year, let's say, been much better informed from all the knowledge gained from last year. If you haven't seen them video series, well worth a look. And yeah, got some really great fish here. I've invested even heavier in the stock that we've got, more fish, even better quality fish, a diverse range of the varieties from the farm, just to really get a true understanding of what's going on there. But Dainichi Koi farm is remarkable. The fish are incredible. You know, the quality lineages really do shine through, and you see why they command the value and are so highly sought after. So yeah, we'll keep you up to date as much as we can. Obviously, if there's any more selections along the way, but believe me, you'll get to see a lot of these fish again come the autumn season as we start to work through. It's going to be an extended growing year for these because of only getting started now, so I don't expect to be really touching these in any kind of way properly until maybe November or even into December. So yeah, let's see where we got. So if there's updates along the way, we will keep you up to date. But for now, get the feeders set, and I'm going to go and get a well-deserved drink.